Alright, let's get to going here. Okay. Where are we gonna get started here? Saber? Started. We'll just go top to bottom. I should probably... probably bring these up. We'll just quickly prune through them. I've already read them, so I'm pretty sure I've got mostly everything. The Seal of Dawn was scaled. That's the trinket. From one... where are we at? I think it was like 1.25 or something. Yeah, rank 1 is 1.25 up from 0.83. So when we get to bis, we get to pre-bis, this change, like consolidating it down and bumping it up like, 50% or whatever, that could impact our decision to run this on week 1 or week 2. So I'd like to look at that tonight as well. Okay, so this post is kind of useless. This is just talking about the trinket. That's not a big deal. This is the one that was a little more interesting. So the ones that are applicable to us, they just added in 20% ambush damage to the 2-piece. So that's a thing. That should help backstab out a little bit. I don't know how much. I don't know the impact that that's going to have fully. But we'll check it out. It's the only real thing. There's another post that had like a bunch of changed items, I think. What was that? I think it was this one. Yeah. Yeah. But this has like all the changes. This is a long post. There's a lot of stuff changed. A lot of stuff. But it should be all in the sims now. Let me take a look and make sure that that's accurate. Looking at WoW sims. So they made an update. Today's data mined itemization changes are now live. Stats should correctly reflect what you see in tooltips, so that's great. That was about an hour ago, hour and a half ago. Seal of the Dawn trinkets now stack up to 8 times. Great. Changes to melee, hunter, retribution, paladin, rogue, and warlock tier 3 have been added. And then Eskandar's right claw and its molten equivalent now increase attack speed by 25%, down from 30%. I think that was to avoid some gross, cheesy stuff. It's an interesting one. Seal of the Dawn trinket should now correctly count as sanctified. That was just pushed about... well, I don't know when it was edited. 30 minutes ago. Cool. Alright. Let's dig in, yeah? I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm gonna keep this tab open in case we want to reference it. But yeah, what we're gonna do, we're just gonna kind of go through. I think there is some low-hanging fruit here that I'd like to look at. So before we jump into anything, I think there are a couple underlying things that are worth doing to get out of the way. One of the changes that was made is that these boots are now not nearly as good as they were. They had an extra 64 attack power on them yesterday. I think these now, instead of swapping the pants, I think now we swap the boots. But we can test that real quick, right? Also, we don't need to actually do any of that anymore. I'm just gonna run this again just to be sure. It should be the same sim. I just want to make sure everything is working. It's still early on, so you want to make sure everything is kind of piecing up nicely and making sense here. Alright. So, one thing that I wanted to try was we'll pop Death Dealer boots in there, and we'll pop Bone Scythe back in here. So now we're running Death Dealer helm and Death Dealer boots, and brought back the legs, which have, you know, a bunch of agi, some strength, hit, crit, and attack speed. The other option that we can look at is the helm, but the Death Dealer helm, sorry, the Bone Scythe helm, is agi, but it has 2% hit. It's really, like, it's good, but it's not that much better than the Death Dealer helm. So I'm thinking that the difference is probably good. Okay. And we're still at 6% expertise. Did we actually bring back expertise with this? Here's your chance attack speed. No, because the legs don't have it. Okay. Cool. All right, let's see if this. So we're at 35,136, and yeah, this is a DPS increase of like 170 or something, 180. Yeah, 179. Double check by looking at the stats. Using the pain, it was showing new stats, but all this in a 64 IP. Yeah, what was happening earlier is people were simming too early. So the way that the sims, and I'm sure you already know this, but in case other people don't, the way the sims work is that when you look at the stats in here, the stats shown in the tooltip are pulled directly from Wowhead. Those are not the stats that are actually assigned to the item in the sims. Those are two separate things. So what happened is that Wowhead updated, so all the tooltips were one thing, but the WoW Sims team had not run the scraper yet from the Wowhead database to repopulate the item database for the sims. That happened about an hour ago, hour and a half ago. So now they're all updated now. And that we confirmed that on the WoW Sims Discord. Luce did that about an hour ago. We're good now. Yep. People are just you know, they're antsy to figure out the answers here, so I get it. Cool. So there's one, right? So let's go ahead and just save this off. We've already got this upgraded. I assume that's going to be the same for Muty. Like that kind of seems like a no-brainer. And quite a nice upgrade, right? 180's pretty decent. Okay, so we want to look at, actually, you know what I want to do? To rerun, calculate stat weights. We're just gonna let this go for a minute. This is gonna take like probably 2 minutes or something like that. This is just gonna recalculate. It's not that I follow EP very closely, but it's a good reference. Sanity check kind of gives you some idea if something might end up being stronger. So we'll let this go for a minute. Yeah, Keggy's. I was looking at that update. We can go look at that in here, actually. So you can see Ghastly's looks interesting too. I'm really curious what like an attack speed build might look like, you know? Like if you just stack attack speed and then you, especially with Saber and Biss, because we're using two fast weapons and leaning so heavy into the poison side of things, it's an interesting thought. Because it was like 90-something% in Venom uptime or something like that. It's something wild. That could be interesting. Yeah, Kiss of the Spider. Everything I simmed with Kiss of the Spider, it just did not compete. Totem is just too good. It's too good. I don't know. And it's even, I mean, it's even better, right? Like, the more you lean into poisons, the better it gets. So, kind of wild. But yeah, Kegi's looks nice, yeah. 26 AP. Bumped it up 1 agility. I think someone just likes even numbers. I don't think Kiss is ever used. I don't know that anything outside of Totem and even Renataki's. I don't know. For backstab anyway. But we'll see. Alright. This should be wrapping up here. Yep. Getting there. Oh, as I just canceled it out. That's great. Good job. Good job. Dummy. Holy cow, dude. Alright, well, let's look through here while we're doing that. I had also heard that Dark Rider Spine was very good. Speed doesn't matter, DPS doesn't matter, we don't care about any of that. 5 with 1% hit and 26 AP. So they basically added hit. They added hit. And this is for the builds that can use something that doesn't have expertise. Yeah. Well, and it got the hit, right? Because it didn't have the spell. Oh wait, no. This is just the change from chance to hit to chance for both to hit, which that's fine. I mean, it helps, right? But nothing crazy. What else we got? Oh, they added in the unique equip type to make sure that people weren't using like tank and DPS ring. I think they said they were going to do that pretty early on, if I remember correctly. I think I heard Zyrene say something about that. I looked at the now, I don't know if the frost resistance gear is going to be a thing. Like, we haven't needed to run fire. We haven't needed to run resistances for literally anything other than Molten Core because of the core mechanic and Fire Maul, right? They're not needed for AQ at all in any capacity, even at the hardest difficulty. So I don't know that we're going to need to be running this. It exists, and they put effort into it, so, like, maybe? Yeah, that's true. What is the helm called? Racer's tunic? Leggings? The helm called something different? Maybe it's not part of the polar set? Oh, I wanted to look at the undead slaying stuff too, yeah. Almost done. That's not on this list. And then there's the ring. It's interesting that this ring this is a quest ring. Is that correct? This came from like the I saw this quest today when I jumped into the PTR. Starts that, sends you into Nax to find what happened to him or whatever. Okay. Cool. So that is now done. We've got this saved. We're at 35312. So we wanted to check out Keigi's, right? Were there any other well, let's just try Keigi's. 35312. 3-5. Yep, there's another 230, 260, 70. Spicy. All right, we'll take it. We'll take it. And we still have room to drop one piece of Bone Scythe if we want to. So, are there any pieces of Bone Scythe that are maybe less desirable? Are there any good options for chest? The chest has expertise and attack speed. You think the Gravedigger thing? Yeah. That still says random enchantment on it. Maybe that just wasn't removed or something. Because I don't think I saw random enchantment on the on this version, but maybe. Yeah, it still says random enchantment. What can be the values of this random enchantment? I don't know. I don't even know how to check that to see what values it could roll. Yeah, I'm not sure on that. Let's try it out though. There's a random enchant. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if this is accurate, right? Like, if this is accurate and saying, like, hey, here's all the stats it has: 32 agi, 1% hit, 1% crit, and 34 attack power, plus a random enchantment. We need to know what these random enchantments are. Is this something stupid, like plus skinning or something, right? or is it an actual, like, stat value? Like, it could roll haste, or it could roll whatever, right? Like, if it's something like that, yikes. That would be nuts. 35594, 35, yeah, 7. Three, 5, 7, 4, 3. What I would like to check now is let's put Bone Scythe gloves back on, and let's just go through the other slots that we have Bone Scythe on and see if there are any good options. So I don't think there are any good shoulders. I mean, all we have is like the Frost shoulder. Those are not going to be better than these. Right, like 30 agi, 25 agi with 1 expertise. Yeah, those aren't even remotely close. The shoulders is a no. As far as the chest goes, Ghoulskin is all strength, so that's probably not going to be a go. And I don't think there are any other options. Just here. Bracers. You have the Stalker bands, but the Stalker bands are just, you know, there's nothing crazy there. And we'd be dropping expertise and attack speed for essentially AP. I don't think. In theory, for non-SSL pants, enough SSL maybe helm, but then yeah, exactly. I don't think you drop to 20%. I don't know that there's a world where we can do that. We could try though. We could try. Let me make sure that we've at least got the right pieces here. So if we go and let's just say, for the sake of the example, we toss on these Stalker bands and now we have 6 piece. We'll just test this out. This should drop. This is probably like 33 or something. 35. Yeah, 35.3. So that's not gonna fly, right? Not that much worse, but not better. Yeah, Dark Riders is probably, or Dark Riders? Is it Dark Riders or Dark Striders? Dark Riders, yeah, you're right. Okay, so that's not gonna work. Let's check waist. Check the Agony one, yeah. Polar Helm and then Death Dealer Pants. Oh, yeah. That could be, we could try it. Yeah. It's crazy how good this belt is from Cthulhu. The Agony belt. It's so nasty. It's, you know, it's still not as good as what we had, right? But it's pretty nasty. And then we'll check ring just for the sake of ring, and then I want to hit your examples. So we've got Unnatural Forces, and we've got Bone Scythe. Take a look here. So what were the rings we were looking at before? We were looking at this Ghastly ring, right? So the interesting thing at the Ghastly ring is that it's got 48 AP and 2% attack speed on a ring. Like, that's kind of nuts. But then it drops us down to 5, so instead of Soul String, we would have to equip this Toxin Injector, right? To get back up to 6. Yo, what did we do? Oh, we forgot to put something back on. Gloves? Got to put gloves back on. That's why. But yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay. Fair enough. Go back. And then I don't think there's any other, like, rings that we thought were potentially competitive, right? There was the... Was it Reanimation? But that's just like 1 crit and 28 agi. Like, there's no world that that's better than that. So I don't think that's a thing. Does Dark Riders have? Yeah, it doesn't have the expertise though. But yeah, I would assume. So where are we at now with Soul String? We got Soul String, which is 6 agi, 16 AP, and 1% crit, versus Dark Riders, which is now 5 agi, 26 AP, and 1% hit across the board. 35.7, 35.8. It's a little bit better. Sure. It's slightly better, right? Nothing crazy, but this is probably our preferred, right? I think this is the only one that was changed. I mean, stat sticks are always such a bust, so not worried about that. Okay. We said we wanted to try something else. What was it? It was like Polar Helm and Death Dealer Pants or something like that is what we're... Just for the sake of trying it out, because it has the attack speed. Let's just test it out. Make sure we're still good. Need to put these back on. I think those Gravedigger gloves are still just gonna be the dub. 35.8. Yeah, they are. I think we probably hit the lottery with this one. Everything else is like 400 to 600 behind. Okay. I think we're missing anything here. I think this is right. I don't think anything touches Shrouded Dominion, right? Like, there's no world where anything touches that. Because that's an int one. So this is 50 AP, 1 crit, 1 attack speed versus 46 AP with 1 hit. Interesting. Any other recommendations here before we move on? Because I think this is like... I don't think it gets better than this right here. I think this is our... And this is cut to the chase, right? So, like, We haven't even even seen the big boy yet. But yeah. Okay. Let's toss it up there, and then we can move on, and then, like you said yesterday, people will figure it out. Did you try Ghastly over Unnatural? I don't see a world where that would be better, but we could, we'll try it, sure. Why not? Because Ghastly has like the AP, right? But I think didn't we test this? I thought we tested this. Maybe we tested it with Boneside. Because if we do that, oh no, we're plus one actually. It could be 35.8, 35.4. So it's like 300 and something DPS behind, something like that. Yeah, 350 behind. Still very good. Still very good. So yeah, I think this is where we're at. Let's get it updated. Do the Carnage one real quick and move on to Mutilate. 35.820. Saber. Carnage. 350 isn't much. Yeah, that's right. I would say anything that sims, even at this level, anything that sims, I don't know, 20 to 30 DPS higher, it's still worth, if it's happening consistently, because keep in mind, like, when we do all these sims, it's grabbing, you know, the middle here, right? Like, it discards everything on the left and right, on the high and low. So you want to make sure that it's consistent. So if it's consistently going 30, 40, 50, whatever, it's worth updating still, right? Because we are trying to find the Abyss and we're trying to find the ceiling. But yeah, in reality, when gearing, if you have an opportunity to get a Ghastly ring or something, yeah, just all day. That's stupid not to. Especially considering I think Ghastly ring comes from like Arizon or something, right? So like go get that now. Well, go get it Tuesday or whatever. All right, what was I doing here? I think I was trying to do this and I got distracted. Carnage. The Carnage was 36,611. Now we are up to 37,334. 700 DPS increase for today. 37,334. Wait, what? Wait, why were we? It said yesterday we're at 37,522. What happened? Something changed. I don't know what, but something changed. Not sure. Okay, well, 37,334. I'm not sure what changed there. We'll have to look at that later. Hard to go back because I don't have like a way to audit that. Yeah, I guess so. You would still assume though that it would. I mean, I guess the 64 AP could offset the gains that we got elsewhere, but that's a little surprising, right? I mean, I think, yeah. No, I guess that makes sense because it's the same gear, just worse because of that. That makes sense. But it is surprising that our new value is less than yesterday's. That kind of sucks. But the fact that it's lower than what was there makes sense. Okay. So, this is where we were with Muty. If I remember correctly, Muty was kind of the same thing, right? Yeah, Muty I think was basically the same thing, just different weapons. if that's correct. Yes. Yes, it was. Except we used Toxin and Dream and Harbinger. So let's do this real quick. We'll grab Saber. We'll change that. We'll pop in Harbinger. We will chase. We're gonna cut to the chase right now. Yeah. Cut to the chase, and then we got Saber Slash. That needs to be changed to Mutilate. Poison Knife and Venom. Sub. Change this to Dagger. And change this to Nature. We good? One. Okay. Yeah, I wanna see that. Okay. Expertise. I don't think we can do this, right? Because then that'll bring us down. So we actually needed the Toxin Injector for that 1%. And then we want Death Dealer boots, not legs. You are correct. Wait, I had that already. Yeah. Yeah, that is the change. Okay. Change this over to Toxin. Save that. Now we've got our 6%. We've got our 6-piece. We've got our 2-piece. We've got Soul of the Efficient. Is the Veiled Shadow dealio. Cut to the chase. Deadly Brew. HAT. Mutilate. Dagger. Nature. Venomous. Weapons look good. I think that's everything. Alright. So, I want to save that. Now what I want to do is close it. I want to reopen it up. Run the sim. Swap the gear. Save and boop. Alright. So we're at 36,101. What is your massive 30 DPS increase? I wonder if I can figure it out. Scythe. Aegis. Gravedigger. We swap Gravedigger out and we swap in something different. Not that. What you got? Is Dark Rider's Spine worse than Toxin Injector? The difference is that Dark Rider's Spine is just AP and Agi and hit. We need the Injector because it has expertise. So we need that to get up to 6. So that's why we're running that here. Yeah, post it. What do you got? What's your improvement? I would like to see it. Dark Rider Spine. Tier 3 gloves. Legs of the Apocalypse. Really? Did they get buffed? No, they're just very good. Just good. 23 strength, 31 agi. Just chance to crit, huh? I'm surprised that these are better. I could see if they had like chance to hit or something on it too, but okay. So we've got 2-piece, we've got 6-piece. We're still sitting at 6%. Okay. It's just the expertise that lets us offset, yeah. I kind of want to like go back and... Did you already check that on the Saber variant? To see if that's an option. 36101. And yeah, it's like, I mean, I'll say it's better. It's 14 DPS better. That's funny. Yeah, that's hilarious. I can go back and check it. Yeah, you're probably right. So this could be good for situations where we're under and are forced to run the injector. So 36. Oh, did I just screw that up? 36,100. Are these simming like exactly the same? $36,108. $36,107. So these two, I think these two are comparable. I think that's the safe bet. Because they're going back and forth. If we go and sim, we're simming this at 50,000 iterations. 36,106 versus 36. $113. $36,100. Yeah, like they're really, I mean, these are really close. These are very, very comparable. Maybe that's the case. Maybe this is just a cut to the chase thing. That's possible. I could see that. But if it is a cut to the chase thing, then that's okay. Because what we'll do is we'll swap it. So let's test it. Let's test it right now. Because if Carnage prefers 1 and cut to the chase doesn't, then we should just pick the one. Just messed that up. Then we should pick the one that Carnage prefers. If cut to the chase doesn't have a preference, right? That makes the most sense. So now we're checking the Carnage one. So this is the Gravedigger variant, and we're at 36,770. Let's just run it a couple times. 36,760 and 36. Here's a good middle ground one right here. So we'll take this difference and then we'll just run it against Muty here. And this is the one with the Apocalypse. 36,780 something, yeah. Okay. We'll run this one. Because this just gives you more flexibility, right? So if this consistently sims above 10 DPS, then we'll just use this. That's fine. Because you want to have the flexibility to be able to swap between Carnage and CTTC depending on the fight. Although Nax is not really... I'm trying to think if there's really anything that we would use cut to the chase on for Nax. Because even 4 Horsemen, it's worth using Carnage. Because they live like 30 seconds or something like that. At minimum. Like Thane or whatever. Okay, this is good. This is good. Let's do this. So 36,784, and this is for Carnage. 36,784 for Carnage. We're actually taking a bit of a nerf here. Because this just bumped down a little bit too. The ad fight guy who you don't even fight, you probably see TTC. Yeah, you're probably right. But, I don't know, because that fight is probably gonna have, you're talking about, like, Noth or whatever. Is it Noth? There are two. There's Gothic and Noth. I think you're talking about Gothic. That fight, I assume the spec rule on that fight for logs is going to take out all ad damage. So it's going to be only damage on the boss, and he's going to live for 20 seconds. So maybe, but honestly, probably not, because you probably want to go into that with a redirect and then immediately pop Carnage and then blow him up. But I'd have to look at it and play around with it a bit. We wanted to do Carnage here, right? We did Carnage. I need to do CTTC. It is interesting with these changes. We are taking a bit of a nerf here from yesterday. Just ran your current linked. Oh, you're right. You're right. I did. Good call. Good call. Thank you. That is a good call. Good stuff. Yeah, that's a good catch. Let me just reset here, make sure I'm doing this right. Let's do cut to the chase. So this was we got this. Cut to the chase, 2 out of 3. Correct. We're good. Getting distracted. Cut to the chase. Apocalypse. Cut to the chase. Here we go. So this is right. $36,117 or cut to the chase. There's a 300 DPS loss here. Very interesting. So Saber and Meteor are coming down. Backstab's going up. That's a little scary. Let me do that again. I corrected. Alright, and then this is supposed to be Carnage. Let's make sure we've got that. Are the talents correct? They are. Carnage. Pop Muty. Leggings of Apocalypse with Carnage equipped. 36,913. 36,913. 400 DPS loss. Backstab boys are gonna be happy. Alright, let's look at it. Let's look at it. Oh god. Alright. So, now that we have tier, with this bonus on it, do we want to... I don't think we can swap anything, right? We'd want to swap Bloodfang, I would assume. And then we can swap out, like, let's run this. Swap out that, and then use... Oh, why was I thinking that the boots had them on there? Oh wait, is this a situation where we could also... No, it's not. Okay. I was thinking we could maybe swap Bloodfang, like swap these two. Well, we should, but I was thinking that it would impact expertise, but I don't think it actually does. So there's our 2-piece. There's your crit. Then we bring these in. Got that. You've got this 3-piece. 3, 2, 7, 6, 7. Like 30 DPS better or something. Yeah. And this is actually, let me do this. We're gonna jump to Carnage actually, because I just want to see. I want to kind of see where we're at here right away.
Yes, it's good to see you all again.
Yep, it is closer.
Yet he is no ordinary man.
It's still not as good, right? But let's see if we can get it higher. Let's see. So we're at 6% expertise, so we still need to use the toxin injector, right? They're a bit better, yeah. Yeah, they're a bit better. They're like 2,000 better, aren't they? I don't know. I just did this. 34. Oh no, I guess they're not. Yeah. Wait, why are they not? Look. Oh, this was yesterday's. 34155. 34923. Let's double check and make sure that all our stuff is right here. So as far as what we were thinking, we were, yeah, we'll definitely check 3-piece again. So we're using King's Fall, Dream Eater, Toxin. We've got 6 expertise. We're running 3-piece ZG, 2-piece Blood Fang, 4-piece Blood Fang on shoulder, and then they said it was implemented, but we can test that pretty easily. 6-piece here. Yes. Okay. Good. And then we look at the rotation, talents, make sure we're good here. This is looking correct. This is a sub build. Free pull is looking good. And then results, we've got our backstab and ambush up here. Garaji Fury, wonder if Ghastly is better. Yeah, we haven't gone in and changed the rings and stuff yet, so. Also, I don't think I saved out. Not that it matters, because it'll cap out on the sanctified pieces, but. Okay. Let's play around a little bit here. Oh, well, keep in mind we had, so I think this is why it's looking worse, is we had the Blood Fang, we had the Bone Scythe boots on, which had all that extra AP, that 64 AP. On all the other specs, we lost damage from yesterday. On all of them. Actually, I think Saber's CTTC maybe went up a very little bit. I don't remember. But we lost DPS on all of these, but we gained DPS on Subtlety. So I think that makes sense. So we lost some because of the 64 AP, and then we gained based on the 20% ambush specifically. And keep in mind, the ambush is not our top damage, right? Like, ambush is here. Like half the damage that backstab is providing. So that makes sense. Okay. What did we want to do here? We wanted to take a look at this and see if there was any other gear that we could swap out. So we wanted to say Karaji Fury. Oh, that's right. I forgot. We used Karaji Fury. Crap. We used Karaji Fury because we needed the expertise. And I don't think we had any other options, right? Because we were limited to the 3-piece. But okay. So I don't know that there is much more. Yeah, we needed the expertise. I don't know that there's much more we can actually do with this configuration right here. Because we're locked in, right? Like, we have 6% expertise. There's nothing we can change. Like, we can move around which pieces of the Blood Fang. The only option we have is to drop the ZG3 piece and instead you try Karaji Fury. Or Karaji, Veiled Shadow, whatever. So, I guess let's try it. I don't think there were any other changes that would impact this. It's interesting that this build, this particular, but like Backstab in particular, suffers pretty heavily from dealing with expertise problems. That's where getting your hunter in there is going to be a thing. Sorry, I missed the question. Is the Undead Slaying set good week 1? We're going to figure that out after. So we're going to finish up the Sweaty Bis now and then jump into Prebis. Because yeah, I want to answer that as well. Is with the rank 1 trinket, are we going to be able to start Nax with Sanctified gear, or are we going to go in with P6 gear? When I looked at it before, which is here, P6 gear 1 with rank 1, and then the second you hit rank 2, you swap to Sanct gear. I don't know if that's still the case, so we'll look at that. But we're gonna get through the sweaty sims first. And I don't know if they're changing how you pick it up. On the PTR, you pick it up in the raid. Like from there's a quest inside, and you just get it. I don't know if that's going to be the same or not. Alright. What did we want to check? We wanted to come in here and see if we could figure out if Veiled Shadows was going to be a thing. Now, if we run Veiled Shadows, it means that we get rid of Dream Eater, right? Because it needs the big heavy hitter. We could try it with it, but I don't see how that happens at all. And this is the same problem we had yesterday. If we take this route, we also lose our cloak. Right? Like, we lose the really awesome cloak. That is problematic. And we lose expertise. So we're gonna have to put expertise in somewhere else. Does the Bone Scythe brace? Is there Bone Scythe bracers have expertise, so we can wear those. Bloodfang boots. And then we would wear Butcher. Here, 2 4-piece. Yeah, so there's the expertise from the bracer. We take that and we remove gloves and replace them with, well, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing there. We replace them with Gravedigger? Do we do that? I don't know. I'm not sure. I think that's the right thing? Question mark? Because now we get our 6-piece, we get our 2-piece, we get our 3-piece, and we get our 4-piece here too. That's a lot of pieces. I think this is, well, let's try it. Let's just see. Let's see what it does. High or low? What do we think here? 3 4 9 2 3. And oh yeah, we are still running that. I wonder if we nah, it's 20 AP. There's no world that's better. I mean, you get the Cutthroat proc and you get the Cutthroat proc here and the free T. Let's run it, and then we'll swap it out and see if there's opportunity there. It's already better. It's already better. Holy cow. 450 DPS. Let's see if we can bump this up higher. That's crazy. That's crazy. This is stupid. I just want to do it just to like satisfy my monkey brain. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to make sure that was the case. It's way too good. Way too good. All right. So that's a good call. So if we were to swap this guy back to the gloves and then use the Apocalypse leggings and then swap this back to Dark Rider. Is that correct? Or Soul String? 35373 35. What's the difference between Soul Strider and Soul String and Dark Rider? 25, 26, one hit, 6, 1 crit. Oh yeah, crit's actually really good for this. So. I don't see that that's as good though. Yeah, I'm not seeing that is... Are we missing something? I'm not seeing that that's performing as well as the alternative. Yeah, so the interesting... You can't fit the ZG 3-piece because then you are behind on expertise. I mean, we can look at it just for the sake of proving it out, right? But the problem you run into with that is you bring in Bone Scythe and then you bring like these back in wherever they are, right? And now you've got the whole world, right? You've got your 6-piece, you've got your 3-piece, you've got your 3-piece, you've got your 2-piece, and you've got your 4-piece. You have every piece in the game. But the problem is your 5% expertise. Now maybe ZG offsets that 1% expertise. Let's look. 35377. 3000 DPS loss. 3000 DPS. Now, you want to sacrifice a hunter to the gods? Did we miss something? 7 sank, that's why. Yeah, 7 sank. That's the other thing. That makes sense. I'm like, that's a lot for 1 expertise. That seems excessive. Yeah. So yeah, you couldn't do that because you need the sync. Yeah. That's fun. All right, now let's look at getting rid of these two now. So we'd be running what, Kagis and could be Speedstone. I'd suspect it's probably like the Slayer trinket or whatever. That would be my guess. Wow. Wait a minute. Is that accurate? How valuable is this 5% cutthroat ambush? Do we still run this just because the proc is so good? Is this a thing? Also, I'm assuming a little bit lower. I mean, it's 15 DPS, so it's probably nothing, but... But yeah, you lose your ambushes, so I think the proc on this neck is just too good, yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Let's look. So we go from casting 10.83 ambushes to 9.29. And you miss an ambush. This is 60-second encounter. You miss 1 to 2 ambushes. While it doesn't look like a lot, only 10 casts, 9 to 10 casts, and this is 37 casts. So like it is making up. Average crit or average hit is more than double. But you get the idea. Yeah. Okay. Let's check the trinket. Yeah, trinket. I thought that, but then like Renataki's is also it's not bad, right? But you also have your T too. I'm thinking crest. Could be DFT. Probably not though. Beadstone could be a thing. Yeah. So not crest. When is it using it? Let's just make sure. I don't know how well these are implemented, so using crest on pull, yeah, okay. That's fine. Not a big deal. We're running this is sub, so it's not like we have cooldown alignment and stuff. Do we want to have some cope here and pray to the gods that Kiss of the Spider is actually good? And make sure that this is correct, yeah. Spoiler, it's not. I mean, every time we're still using Renataki up to this point for a reason. Its alignment with backstab is very good. It's a free ambush when you otherwise wouldn't have had it. Could check something like Jam, but still probably not. What else do we have here? Beadstone. The Kiss trinket is a super cool trinket. Like it on paper looks amazing, but then it's just not, right? And because it's on use, like you can't pair it with totem or anything, which would be where it would just go nuts. Did we already check DFT? I don't know. I mean, nothing so far has been as good as Renataki's. That's crazy. I'm clicking the wrong crap for that. We also have these like Mark of the Champion ones, right? Which is just a flat 157 AP. But again, I can't imagine it's going to be as good as Renataki's. The gear is just designed too well. Like Renataki's and the neck are just designed perfectly for the way backstab is designed. It's the same problem totem is so great for Muti and Saber, right? Like it's the same issue. To a lesser extent, totem is like egregiously well designed. Pretty rough. In a good way. Yeah, I don't think we get away from Renataki's here. I just don't think we do. Does the APL include using trinket energy? Yeah, it does. It checks for... It's written into the code, so it's not in the APL. It's written... I don't think it is anyway. I think I took it out. Oh no, I do have it written. I do have it written in here. So it checks not only for energy, but it also checks and makes sure you don't have clear casting and you don't have cutthroat. Clear casting, I don't think we even have in this. Yeah, it checks for all that. Oh, yeah, we do have clear casting. I forgot. Yeah, so that's the thing. So it optimizes it pretty well, as you would in the game. Okay. Yeah. I mean, we're still running I guess it's just a free 20 AP. And we take it and we be happy with it. And that's that. So many sets in this damn thing. It's close. Yeah, it's close. I think it's probably also close enough now where we'll see. I'll run the IEA stuff, but it could be more possible now that it's better to run IEA with backstab, but I'll do that later offline because that's pretty boring to look at, and then I need to look at like the uptime in the fights and swapping and blah blah blah. So I'll take a look at it. Okay. Any other last minute changes we think here? I think we're pretty boxed in here. I don't see us doing much more with this in particular. Got Daggy 3-piece. Yeah, I don't think there's anything in here that's gonna be too much more adjusted than what it is already. And we're just there's no other room for movement, basically. So cool. All right, let's get the others updated. Let's get swap King's Fall to Cthulhu Dagger and change ranged. That's spicy. Yeah, I mean King's Fall's too good. King's Fall's way too good. This thing is 73 DPS dagger, right? You're wanting to look at what Death Sting, which is a 66, 2.1, 73, 66, 1.9. But yeah, we can look at it, sure. Oh man. Womp womp. Nope, that ain't happening. King's Fall's too strong. That's gonna be this is gonna be disgusting PvP for anyone who does that. Yeah, 1000 DPS is what we're looking at. Okay, let's get this updated. So we were sitting at 35375. 35375. I will say, I'll give the Blizzard dev team some props. I just added that to the wrong thing. On paper, this balancing is looking pretty good. On paper. We'll see how it pans out. Oh, for Rogue. Just for Rogue. We've seen the other papers. For the other specs. They're not as... Those are not great papers. We're gonna avoid those ones. Yikes. Alright. Let's do CTTC here. The 33282. 33282. It's crazy how much of a hit this takes for. Look at that. That's nuts. Wow. I didn't expect that would be so much. Like 2000 DPS difference. I figured it'd be like 1000 to 1500 tops. Because that's what these are, right? I mean, hell, Mutilate, you could get away with just running CTDC and call it a day. but I guess Backstab is a bit more reliant on the raw damage versus the damage over time stuff. Even if you have one bonus sank, the 3-piece is only 100. That's true. It's really, like, realistically, the 3-piece is not what, like, that, you could just, like, you just pop that in here, right? Because that's the Shiv Savant here, right? The real value seems to not come from the 3-piece. The real value seems to come from the items. The Cutthroat proc here, and the free Cutthroat, the free ambush here, plus being, like, another T. So, pretty interesting. I mean, the crit is good. I'm not, obviously the crit is good, but pretty nuts. Anyways, let's move on. I'm gonna run that again just to be sure. Yep, that's correct. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of cool. Like when you look at Backstab, and I'll just bring this open again, like the amount of stuff going on with this gearing is pretty wild, right? Like, this is pretty crazy. There's a lot going on here. Like, every slot is doing something and providing some value other than just being a stat stick. Every single slot, except the dagger. This dagger. And this is just our big boy. But every other slot is providing some level of value, whether it's tier bonus, procs, you know, T and Cutthroat. Like, it's interesting. It's a cool build. It's like Backstab is actually a pretty unique build. I played it all tier 5. Yeah, all tier 5. It was very fun. Very fun. I'd play it again. But I probably won't. I'll probably play Mutilate for most of Phase 7 until I get Biss. Because I think how this will pan out is that you're going to end up playing, say you're trying to choose between these two, right? Which is usually how it goes. With the exception of Phase 6. I think you're going to end up playing Mutilate 80% of the phase until you get Biss, and then you can swap over to here. But even then, there are gonna be some fights, like I wouldn't play Saber for Gothic or Noth. I would not play Saber for either of those. Which we'll see when we get down to doing these sims here, the 30-second sims. That should maybe even, I might even have to do 15-second sims. I don't know how this phase is gonna pan out with scaling. It's gonna be weird. If I have to add a 15-second column, I will, but... Alright, I'm gonna stop talking. Let's move on. Get too caught up and distracted with stuff. So now we are doing combat CTTC. So same as yesterday, I don't imagine that this is gonna be a thing. Tomorrow we sim tanks. We gotta get Rogue Tank to 30k. That reminds me, someone sent me something earlier. Let me see. I'm just looking up a message I got earlier. Because someone sent me a link to a tank doing... Yeah, check this out. So this is a tank sim. Full DPS gear. And again, this DPS gear could be optimized. We've already declared that, right? Like we just proved that out, that this could be better. But it's doing 50k threat per second. So I don't know what the hell they're gonna do here. 48k, and this is not even like, it's not even optimized. So I don't know enough about tanks, but tanking's in a weird spot right now. Anyways, again, distracted. I don't know what is the, and that's in DPS gear, so like I don't. And then they did the whole nerf today, right? With the like evasion being bumped. Is that so they don't have like full uptime? Yeah, that's a 35k DPS sim on a tank. Oh. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. That it's a weird situation, and again, we're talking about like this only really impacts the sweaty people, but it starts creating implications when you can have a tank doing as much damage, almost as much damage as a full DPS. That's wild. And if you can maintain the threat with that, like, sure. Like, why wouldn't you? You know? Crazy. Alright. So, here we go. We're doing combat, cut to the chase. So we're going to grab backstab. All this gear should stay the same. Maybe, no, it should stay the same. Make sure that our talents are right. Cut to the chase, 2 out of 3. Run it. Are we at 8? Yeah, we're at 8. 6% expertise. This should be a bad one, which it is. 31888. And this is Carnage, Combat Carnage. Let's make sure. Combat, Carnage. Carnage. That's the wrong button. 33,392. And now we're gonna do assassination, cut to the chase. Assassination. Chase. Talent. Yes, yes. Make sure settings. This leverages instant poison instead of wild strikes. Correctamundo. Run it. Yeah, this is better. This is the best CTTC one, yeah? Crazy. 32054. 32054. Look at that. Dang. That's a good one. Pretty strong. And Assassination Carnage. Bam. Check. Yes. Correct. Yes. And Carnage. Run it. 33. 323. All right. There we are. There we are. Sort column. Highest to lowest. We are looking at 4 bis. Sweaty bis. Saber slash. Followed by mutilate. Followed by subtlety. Okay. Three 7 3 3 4 minus 3 5 3 7 5. Hey. 2000 DPS discrepancy between all 3 specs. That's not bad, man. That is not bad. You know? Divided by 37334. 5%. Not too shabby. Again, we'll see how all this pans out, right? But overall, pretty good. I'm gonna delete these. These are the human ones I did earlier. For those of us that are stupid and play Alliance, self included. It's worth noting, when I did these sims earlier, Mutilate performed better than Saber for Alliance. I'll run them again later. But that's a thing. Because of the orc snapshotting of the double dot, the Saber slash dot, and the poison dot. Yeah, I know. We're bad. Cool. Alright, well, I'm happy with that. So, we're done. We're done with the sweaty stuff. I've got like an hour left before I need to go to sleep because I have to go into the office tomorrow. But I want to do some of this. I want to look at these. So we're gonna... Alright. Let's look at the ones that I have kind of done already. So for these, I want to go and let's just rerun these again. They should be the same. 7-1. That's actually a little more. Why is that? What changed here? Oh, Dark Rider Spine. Oh, some of the Kara gear changed. That's right. That's the only change. I actually don't know why I have these. Where did I land with this? Whatever. It's about the same. We can ignore that. This is what I wanted to look at. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, before we move on, I did not that it matters, I didn't remove I think I didn't remove the Mutilate extra stacks. No, I did. Okay. For some reason, I thought I didn't remove those extra stacks, but I actually did. Okay. Cool. Alright, let's look at this. Saber slash Carnage. So we've got our rank 1, and we want to beat essentially 71. We'll say 7150 is what we're trying to beat here. So let's put this together with what we've got. So I mean, immediately I didn't even change anything. We're already running it week 1. We're already running it. Okay. All right. We're done. Oh god. Okay. Let's improve this. How crazy is that? All right. And this is let's get rid of these. Wow, yeah, that's nuts, man. So this is using I'm just trying to take a look and see if there's anything else that we can swap. So we've got Kagis. We know that. Dark Rider. What were the other things from Kara? Let's open that up. Where was that post? There was like a Karazon on Crypt side. This one. Oh no, this is the big one that I wasn't looking at. I wasn't looking for, rather. I was looking for the one from a couple weeks ago, last week, something like that. Crystal Veil. Those are the loading screens. I don't care about that. Yeah, there were like 2 rings or something too, I guess. Next Ramus itemization. Yeah, I don't know where it is. It's fine. It basically just listed out all the gear that was coming from Karazhan. But we can just remember it. Add 4-piece. Add 4-piece on shoulders and run 3-piece AQ. Could be. Could be. Wait, can we do that? Maybe. R1. Just want to save this before we move on. So if we were going to do something like that, then we would need to come in here, take this. We would need to essentially get rid of Dream Eater? That doesn't sound right. I have an idea for that. I think I have an idea for that. Secret tech. And then we would ditch that for this, right? Problem is we go down even more expertise, which is nuts. And then yeah, we'd have to run that. And then you're running Dream Eater again. With Dagger, the Veiled. I don't know that you get rid of Dream Eater. We could try it, but and then basically saying that instead of that, we would add tier 2 4-piece, which is what? Wait, tier 2 4-piece. I mean tier 1? Tier 2 4-piece is... Because we're running Saber right now. I guess so. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What is that, Butcher? Yeah, better. 7,200. Okay. An improvement. Dagger's a 1.8. Can we put like a Pugio in there or something? Then do a Veiled? 7199. I guess it would be the other way around. So if we would run Dream Eater in the offhand as a 1.6, 60, the same DPS. I think we tried this before. Oh shit. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I think it was the 7200 before. Well, this is our new, right? You're saying AQR, yeah, AQR has it. It's harder hitting. It is harder hitting, but I want to point this out because I think this is important. So when we look at the sweaty sims, and this is what I would be intending to do, is if you come in here and you look at, I was looking at something different. This. You come in here, I was looking at this, right? So like, even for, I think this was the same way for some setup of Saber, but like you can come in here and even instead of Harbinger run Pugio here, and it's like 200 DPS behind Abyss, and you could just run this, which you can get today. Like there's zero competition for this today. Just go get it. Run Muty, do a bunch of damage. So you're saying, let's see here. Yeah, I don't know why I had Jom in here instead of Totem. Well, let's check it out. Let's look. Was I doing Jom pre-pull? Yeah, it was. No, not as good as Jom pre-pull. But you gotta do it with the pre-pull. 40 DPS. If you don't do the pre-pull, if I remember correctly, Totem might have been better. Yeah, Totem's a little better if you don't do the pre-pull. So if you don't want to deal with it, sure. Yeah, that's fine. Or if your like tank is incapable of timing pulls or something, sure. But the Jom pre-pull at 11 seconds is optimal. And that was the case in P6 too, for Saber. Not that anyone used it, but that is what was best. Okay, do we see any other improvements here? Any other rings we can wear other than Ghastly that are available? I think Ghastly's the only one that we can get. Because this one is a quest reward, but it requires you to go into the raid, I think. And we are at 8 sanctified, so we don't need an extra. Or else I would say we could like try to fit in Polar Belt or something like that. Yeah, just the 2-hit. Yeah, just looking at that one. I don't know that there's anything else we can do here. I think this is it. I think this is probably where we sit. But that said, this is better. This is better than P6 gear. Right? Like that's a thing. So yeah. Okay. 7225. 7225. I'm actually gonna put these in the notes and then update later because I want to revisit this format. I guess I could probably just take all these. I'll do that. I'll do that bit later. I want to clean this up a little bit and make it a little bit different. Make sure I'm comparing these two properly. But yeah, about 100 DPS increase. Little shy of 100 DPS increase to put in the work week 1. Get your gear, get your Kaigis, get your Undead Slaying set, your 3-piece, your Dark Rider Spine, Ghastly Ring, get the rank 1 trinket. I don't know what's going to be involved in that. If you have to do some quests, some grinding, whatever. Get those things, you'll be in a good spot. Everyone should already have Dream Eater, right? Everybody? Every single person has it, I think. Not everybody. Alright. Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be the same for Muty. I can't see that being any different. Okay. Sweet. So, nature on the ring, double dagger. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I didn't update that. Kind of crazy that you should make sure to remind him about that. I think he has it now, honestly. He also plays like 2 rogues or something. It's kind of crazy that we're running double dagger with saber slash. It's making me think a little bit about this, because I don't think I tested daggers very heavily. I tested everything else, but I don't think I tested daggers very heavily. So that is that's an interesting thing. Okay. Let's let me bump that. Here we go. So 7292. There you go. Pretty good. 150. Alright. Let's look at Muty real quick here. And I'm not gonna do all these. Like, I don't think we need to do all these. I can fill in the blanks later. Let's just do the top performing Carnage ones first. And then I'll just later I'll go back and do the other stuff. That's not a big deal. So we were trying to beat 6895. That's our BIS for somewhere around there. That's our BIS using P6 gear. So immediately, with what I had already put together, 7133. Now, if we go and we change that to the gear we just put together, it's kind of the same, honestly. I guess I had already kind of sorted this out for Muty. There were a couple changes. We've got your HAT, Soul. Is this still... Really, I think I used Soul of the Toxicologist here instead of Soul of the Butcher. I wanna play with that. Yeah, I wanna play with that. Either way, let's get this sorted out here. So we wanted to use Totem. We'll check the Toxicologist thing in a second. We want to change this to Mutilate. Okay. Crusader, Carnage, did the brew. HAT, Mutilate, Poison, blah 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 blah. Dagger, Nature. Alright. Yeah, it's gotta be Toxicologist. I think that's the big difference. 7130 something. Yeah, well, that's what we're looking at now is the pre-raid stuff. And that's basically running all that. Ghastly, Kagis, Dark Rider Spine. So it's there, but this is actually saying, I mean, it's still better, right? Like, it's still more than the 68 whatever. So you'd still run it. Am I missing anything here? Venomous. Got our 3-piece. We've got our 3-piece. Got our 2-piece. Technically 4. We've got 8. But we only have 1% expertise. But I don't think we get that from anywhere else. Because we're locked into these. And we're locked into needing 8. Are we locked into needing 8? Is there an expertise piece we could use? In these slots? The Death Dealer slot, so helm, shoulder, leg, boot. Because we wouldn't want to touch Never Ending. Wait, Gravedigger and Stalker come from Nax, don't they? Ultra. 86. Did they not? Did they come from Kara? If you use 4-piece Tier 2 Core Forged on shoulder, belt, pant, boot, you can fit another shoulder rune. But then the shoulder rune, I think I tried this, then the shoulder rune ends up being... Interesting. The shoulder rune ends up being, this. Ends up being this 2-piece, right? If we take that route. Try it. See what we're looking at. You're basically saying if we 4-piece shoulder, belt, pant, boot. Yeah, I don't know that that's gonna work, but because then we lose more expertise here too. Shoulder, belt, pant, boot. And we'd basically just have to run Scoundrel, right? We'd be forced into running Scoundrel, but we'd get Toxicologist. From there, we'd just be swapping the two. So you'd be swapping them, but then you have less stats. Death Dealer. Keep this for the expertise. Yeah. Yeah, it's not as good. And that makes sense that it's not as good because you're trading the stats, you're trading the sets, so you're not actually gaining anything. I mean, you gain the 2-piece, I guess, but that's not really gonna do much. You're just trading sets, but losing the stats, the stat upgrade from tier 2 to tier 2.5, whatever. Is the 6-piece clear casting an option instead? I don't think so. Because you mean an option as far as running instead of the Scoundrel? I assume that's what you're saying. What's the name of that? That's the 5%, right? Executioner. Are the Gravedigger gloves? I mean, let me find that. What's the name of these gloves? Let's grab them real quick. Let me test this real quick so we make sure this is incorrect. 7025. Yeah, that's a lot worse. Not a lot worse, but it's a little worse. Gravedigger gloves. New Karazhan related items found. Items and changed items. So it says it. Could be. Doesn't say where they are in that. In this one, it insinuates because they were found. But yeah, the problem is we can't run them because then we lose this 2-piece, right? So you can't run them. As good as they are, you'll run them eventually in some sets, but we won't be able to run them in this because then we lose the 2-piece bonus, and then we won't be at 8. Although. Maybe that's okay because we're only talking about 1%, 1.25%. We could try it just to see. That's what we're doing here. So if we get those, if we keep the Gravedigger around, or we pull in the Gravedigger, and you're wanting to... Is that the only change? You 12 stank on everything. I mean, it's not a bad thought, like the fact that they are good. And it is possible that we could run... I don't know that we could get away with running 6. We could maybe run 7, because then you're losing, you're just losing 1.25%. But the problem is I don't think we just don't have enough slots to work with to do it. If we had another slot we could change to Sanctified, then I think we could. But I don't think we just don't have them. Trying to do this anyway. Wait, didn't we just have a 7200 or something? I just went back to the one that I had saved and I lost track of where we were. And now I don't remember. Yikes. Two-piece with toxicologist. Maybe I'm misremembering, and we were just at 7134 or 7135. For some reason I thought I remembered seeing this at 7200, but I might be wrong. Okay. I think this is... Yeah, that's right. I think this is where we're at. 7130, whatever. $71.34. So again, we're still there. Saber's looking a little spicy, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It's not looking too shabby. I'll say that. And part of it, so before we're done, I want to go back to Saber Sweatyvis and look at. I want to revisit daggers real quick. But let's go ahead and get this updated. So this is Carnage, Mutilate Carnage at 7134. All right. I don't think this one's gonna go well. This is not. I don't think backstab's gonna be the play here, but let's look. So we need to beat 6673. Let me open that particular one up and make sure that that's still accurate. Around there, 6670 something. So this is what I had put together initially with Death Sting, dagger, basically 3-piece, your undead slaying. Let me fix this. You've got your 8-piece. Okay. Got your 8-piece. You've got 2% expertise. You've got your Renitakis. You've got your 4-piece. And then you've got your ZG 3-piece here. Your ZG 3-piece. Your 4-piece. And your Veiled Shadow 3-piece. So this is where I landed last time. So we would need to beat 6673, and we're basically right at that. I don't know. Already got that one. We've already got the main hand opening. Yeah, I was just thinking about that, seeing if we could maybe swap the... But if I remember correctly, when I did check this... Yeah. Well, it's needed. Oh, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it actually will be an upgrade here to play the neck. Again, because it's bigger of an issue when this is like more than 1% damage. But if we were to come in here and add this, I'd wager that this will bump this. Yeah, it will. So 67.49 is where we're at now. And we're running 7 sync. Now, is there anything we can do here? I mean, we're running 4-piece tier 2. We've got sync where we can fit sync, with the exception of the neck, which is just too good to not use, which we found even in the sweaty sims. We've got 3-piece, so we're kind of stuck with the dagger here. We're using the big hitter dagger because it's just the biggest one that we have currently. And then Dark Rider's Spine is just seemingly the best ranged weapon in the phase, regardless, which you get from Karazhan. Maybe they'll buff the other stuff later, but... So 67.49 is where we're currently at. Seeing anything else in here that makes sense to try to screw with a little bit. AQ, 3-piece set, and DE. I don't think that'll work with backstab, but we could try it. I think backstab just needs the big hitter. Well, let's try it. Let's give it a shot. So that would be like this, because you want your slower one in the main hand. 67.49. Yeah, it's about 100 DPS loss to run that. Which makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. I don't think there are any other upgrades for this. I think this is where this is at. 67.46. Use Death Sting. Still use Death Sting. Put the set on the shoulders. You mean put the set on the shoulders and don't use... Alright. Try it. You're going down the path of the fact that Shiv Savant probably isn't adding a ton of value. I assume is what you're going for. What is this? Efficient? Let's check it out. If that is the case, then we would run Karaji. Does that sound right? Karaji Fury. Because that gives us crit, which is really great. It gives us AP and it gives us expertise. I assume that would be what we would do here. And then now we need to get rid of the cloak, which we could just use concentrated hate, right? I think that was the go-to previously. Is there a new cloak? Is there a Kara cloak? What was the name of the, I think we can look at it through the sources. Gravedigger gloves. News article. Related items. Cloth, leather, plate, jewelry. Plate. I don't think there were any capes. Yeah, I didn't think we saw any capes here. So I guess this would just be concentrated hate would be the play, just from a pure stat perspective. It's a little better. Not as much as I thought, honestly. I think it's because at scale, so like we're still at the normal damage levels. So Shiv Savant is decent. But then once things start scaling way up, I think that's when it's weird how stuff changes when the scale is magnified by 300%. But this does seem like this is at least a little bit better. Let's make sure that it sims consistently higher. We were doing 50,000 iterations, so it should be fine. Could you also, in theory, swap shoulders to ZG and then change belt to tier 2? So the problem you would have with that is that you would lose the expertise here. And you would lose crit, I think. No, that gives crit. You would just lose the expertise, which is probably pretty hurtful. And that was for 3-piece. That would be, what was it? What were we looking at before? The butcher? Forget what we had in here prior. Actually, it probably was Shiv Savant. Yeah, the expertise. I think the expertise is fairly important, but I'm not 100% sure. How do we get back to where we were before? Because you're talking about changing it to maintain the 3-piece, right? To maintain the 3-piece of the ZG. You would end up running like Blood Fang. And then you would drop the shoulders for Zandalari. And now you'd have 3-piece. And then you could take Shiv Savant and replace it with... We already have. We have 3-piece. We have 4-piece. 2-piece. We have 3-piece CG. The hell else do we use? 6-piece tier 1? Like, what else would we use here? Well, efficient is the 3-piece veiled. We already have that, but I think executioner, I guess, would be the only other option. And that's our... Yeah, I know. Well, this is 6-piece tier 1. Let's just look at it. Oh shoot, it's better. Is this better? 67, 79. Look at that. It's better. This is better. Oh, that's wild. Look at that crap. What a weird setup. How many pieces are we cramming in here? My God. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 set bonuses. Use Efficient and replace the ring with Karaji Fury. I don't think that'll work. We could try something like that. Just play around with it. So use Efficient and Dream Eater and Karaji Fury. Yeah, I think let's try it. Let's give it a shot. Give it a try here. Efficient, and we'll get rid of our 3-piece and we'll run Dream Eater. Good. And then we'll be able to go back to Cloak of Concentrated Hatred, right? And then bring back Karaji Fury, which will give us more crit and the expertise and the AP. And we run Efficient, Sting, Dream Eater, Karaji Fury, 6780 to 6820. And there we are. I don't think it gets better than that. I think that's it. 2% expertise. We've got 7% sanctified. It does like crit more than, yeah. It does like crit more than hit. Not that hit is bad, but it does value crit higher. But what other options do we have for crit cloaks? Let's see here. 16 strength, 15 strength, 16 agi 1. But maybe we still run. What other options do we have? This is just a stat stick. That's just chance to hit. But maybe we just still run. Maybe we just still run Veiled specifically for its crit. 6823. No, it's actually not better. I think it's because you're like, it is better, but like hit is also still very good. And you're getting the agi and the strength. Like, so there's, you get quite a bit of AP there. Bethune Cloak. Which one is that Fallen God? Yep. I think that's it. It's about the same though. Realistically, you could run either of these cloaks. They're going to be about the same damage. Ew. BS doesn't have the hit talent. Yeah, you're right. So it does benefit from it. I almost would say, like, while this is simming maybe slightly higher, I would almost say, like, because this is a little bit, I don't know what the drop chance is on these. I'll say because it's the first boss, maybe this is more accessible, right? But that might not be true. Plus, I generally try to lean closer into the hit side of things. Because, like, if you get more hit, then it raises your crit cap up too, right? So, like, there's value in that beyond just this sim. So it gives you a little bit more flexibility as well. I'm gonna go with this specifically for the reasoning that adding more hit can enable you to get more crit. And because they're simming at the same, then I think that's the logic that I'll go with. I think that makes sense. Alright. Do we have any other thoughts here? I think this is it. I think this is the play. This is 6825 for sub backstab. 6825. So not bad, right? Like, you could totally just play sub if you wanted to, or play backstab if you wanted to. it's not as good as the other two, right? Like that's just objectively true, at least at 60 seconds. But I don't think it's going to be better at 30 seconds either. Nor do I think you're going to have 30-second encounters on day one, on week one, which is what the whole intent of this is. So we're looking Saber, Muty, Backstab. And you can and should try to get your Undead Slaying and your Sanctified pieces ready on week one so you can go into the raid. And this is assuming, I'm going to preface this by saying I don't know yet. They've really beaten around the bush with this. I don't know if you can get this trinket on week 2. Like at the beginning of week 2 before you go into raid. Say you're raiding on Tuesday on the reset or whatever, whenever the hell it is. I don't know if you're going to be able to have this. I'm assuming you can. Like it would be kind of silly not to. But this is just assuming that the rank 1 trinket is going to be available on week 2 upon entering Naxxramas. Then it makes sense to run this gear. And put your P6 bis in the bank. Call it a day. Don't get rid of it. Because it's possible that some of it will be used if there's a next phase. But I do like it. I think the one cool thing about this being the reality, that this is actually like we're going to use this gear going into week 1 of Nax, is that week 1 of phase 7 with like Kara releasing and stuff and running it every day because it's a daily lockout and stuff, and then also farming the whatever the like resources that's needed to upgrade your trinket, that's gonna be a fun week. Like that is exciting. That's almost to me more exciting than Nax is having a week of like very clear objective. I like that a lot. I like that type of gameplay, like pre-patch. Yeah, I think the most fun I have in classic WoW is gearing for pre-bis. That to me is like the bread and butter of the WoW experience, is gearing for pre-bis, and this has that feel. I like that. I think that's really cool. That's a good experience. We'll see if it pans out that way, but that's kind of the thought there. Alright, so before I take off, I want to go and let me just color code these just for the sake of doing it. I wanted to go look at Saber Slash real quick under Sweaty. And what I wanted to look at was daggers. So the interesting thing with Saber Slash, and why I'm actually like, this is probably the spec I am most interested in, and it's because we're using fast weapons. Like the concept of a fast weapon Saber Slash that has a damage profile that leans so heavy into poison and our dots. So this Saber Slash is actually, if you look at it, you can see the ticks take up the majority of our damage. That is interesting to me, because it turns into a dot build. So we're using quick weapons, but the fact that we saw that on Prebis makes me kind of wonder. But I don't think we have any daggers that are like fast, right? We have a 1.1. I mean, if we were to go and change this to like Dream Eater or something, I think I've already tested this, so probably not gonna be a 7.3. Yeah, it's not. SSL. And it has cut to the chase, that's why I didn't save. So I was trying to think here if there were any options where we could leverage a dagger, but the problem, not really a problem, The reason why that doesn't seem to really be a thing is because the fastest dagger we have is Harbinger of Doom, which is the same as Hungering Cold. So I just don't think that matters. At all. Because it's a 73 DPS. It's like the same speed, but it's a lot more damage. I think this is probably the best. I was thinking that maybe there was a world where there was some possibility, but I think the reality is this is the first time we're having non-daggers be this fast and have good stats, right? Like the combination of those two things is coming together and playing well with the damage profile of Saber, and that's interesting. I'm excited to try this. This is going to be my goal for the next phase. Is I would like to try to get to this gearing. I think this would be very fun. So I'm going to try to do that. That's going to be my goal, I think, especially with how this is panning out. Unless we get to there's another round of balancing or something and whatever, backstab goes to the moon or something like that. I don't see that happening. There's a world where that's the case. All right. I think that's it. I think that's it for me tonight. We went and we did the sweaty sims. We deemed that it's going to be Saber, which is slightly better, a 400 DPS better than Mutilate at top levels. And then you've got about 1500 DPS behind. You've got Backstab. So it's there. It's not like it's not viable. It's just not going to be a top performer. Maybe it'll slot in nicely for IEA. So what I'll do is tomorrow night, probably, maybe, sometime soon, I'll go in and fill out the IEA sims. I'll fill out the casual sims and see how that looks. I still think Saber's probably going to be best for IEA because you don't have to maintain the bleed for Carnage. So you get all the Carnage damage for free. And all you're doing is casting, you're doing a PK weapon pre-swap, right? Which everyone should be doing anyway. There's your 15-second uptime on pull, and then you're casting expose once, maybe twice. That's it. And if you have a target change, just be smart about leveraging redirect. PK on the way in, there's your CP immediately. You're done. Like that. There's no, I just don't. People exaggerate the whole like running IEA is like such a horrible, like tough, difficult, annoying thing to do. But the reality of it is you just have to play it well. And if you play it well, it's not that much of a hindrance. It's just a numerical decrease because your stats aren't there. It's really not a big deal. Yeah, Muty, I run cut to the chase. You could run Carnage, but having that third cast, it is a thing. Like, it's a real thing that can definitely have a cost associated with it. So, yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, that is that. I'm gonna jump off here. Thanks everyone for your help again, as always. If you, I'm sure everyone here already knows, but the 99.2 running IEA that's really solid. I think I was like pushed 97s or something when I was doing IEA, but I only ran I was an AQ, and I literally only ran AQ like 3 times or something like that. Let me drop a link in for the Classic Discord, Classic Rogue Discord, just in case people don't have it. That's where you can find me. Ask questions, do all your stuffs. I might have just sent the wrong link. I for sure sent the wrong link. There you go. That's the right link. If you don't have it, if you're not already on the Rogue Classic Discord, jump in. I'm checking that many times a day. Ask questions. That's where we'll theory craft. There's like 20 people looking at the doc now. That's pretty cool. But this has got to be a community thing. Like I said earlier, this is all just like trying to do good for the rogues and make sure we're all in a good spot. So like anytime you have for people that understand this stuff and that enjoy doing this, like try to make these better. I'm sure that we're gonna miss stuff, especially as stuff is changing and stuff. If you have anything, you find anything that's a slight improvement, 20 DPS, whatever, call it out, ping me in the Discord. I'll take a look at it, make sure that it's, give you a sanity check, and if it's good enough, I'll bump up the sims here, because all of these sims are what is used for these sims. So all the WoW sims that they use, and this is what the devs leverage as a data point, not entirely, but they use this as a data point when it comes to balancing. So what we're doing is like quite meaningful, in that it's making the game better. That's why I like this stuff. So this will all be updated. These rogue sims will leverage the sims that we have created here using the APLs that I put together. But yeah, we gotta tank the sim number. That's what happened last phase. That's why we got the draft. So yeah, there are some classes who do stuff like that, and it's something that I've been trying to call out in the WoW Sims Discord, is like, let's really make sure that we're looking at what our estimates are phase to phase with the sims and match them to, like, take whatever the top performing like hoo parses are that are 60 seconds, match them to the 60-second sim profile, make sure they're somewhat consistent, right? Like, they shouldn't be egregiously different. Like, the sims aren't always going to be perfect, but they should give you a general idea of where you should be at and around the potential. There are some other, I think, specs that have APLs that are just not tuned up quite as well, and we gotta, the better we can make them, the better the game's gonna be. So like, we're only doing ourselves a disservice to not do that. So that's kind of been my stance on it. I don't hide anything. I try to lay it all out there and just say, look, this is where we're at. Here's our APL. This APL, while it is aggressive, right? Like, this is a sweaty APL. It's achievable. It's not like I'm doing things in here just to bump up the number. Like, that's not what we're doing. And that's also why we provide the casual APLs as well, which is literally just opening from stealth. So if you want to try to balance it, give the devs the information, go from there. Give them what they need, and that's that. So that's the thought. So far so good. But I'll go through and start filling this stuff out, and we'll kind of go from there. We're about a week out, so that's all. All right, I'm gonna jump off here. I gotta get ready for bed and stuff because I gotta wake up early and drive into the office for an entire day on site, which is super boring, but that's where we are. So again, thanks for jumping in and helping out here, everyone. Appreciate it, and I will catch you on the Rogue Classic Discord. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Take it easy.